Hello. Can people hear me?
Hi, Greg. Yes.
Yes.
I wonder if we should get started or give people a chance to join.
Maybe give them just a minute, and then I'm ready if you just want to get started. Let me paste the links here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Rao, you want to give a technical update?
Yes. Let me share my screen. I'm going to also post in the chat the link to the 0919 release.
Also, Rao, do you have a link to the Casper spec that Kent was working to? I know it's in Atlassian, but I don't remember exactly where.
I can look for it. I don't have it right now, but I can forward that to you.
Okay.
Is that, yeah. Let me see, here's the chat. Why am I not good at the chat? Oh, there it is. Okay, I posted two links in the chat, one to today's community update, and the other one is to the 0919 release plan. We released 0919 on Friday, and the testnet is currently running 0919. So the main, so 0919 actually is the public beta version 2, and the main improvements there are we resolved all mergeability issues that we knew. And that's the major thing. And it also has the improved web API that Tomislav has been working on. So that's also part of the 0919 release. The one piece that is not in there yet is the insufficient flow fix. And I'll speak to that in a little bit more detail today. But we expect that the insufficient flow fix would be coming out in the 0920 release, which should be the mainnet release. But so I'm going to skip through some of these things because there is really nothing to talk about here. I talked about those PRs earlier in the previous community sessions. They are just now merged and released. That's where we are. The one thing about slashed funds being deposited into Co-op wallet, we have the PR. It's being reviewed right now. So it should be going out in 0920. In terms of insufficient flow, the main issue of when there is insufficient flow, the error shutting down the node, that has been resolved, and the PR is in the newer, or is being reviewed right now. And there is a related item that was originally reported as an insufficient flow problem, that was the 3937. What our investigations have revealed is that the 3937, even though it was observed when an insufficient flow error occurred, is actually occurring in a broader range of errors. So we separated that out as an issue to be resolved. We know how to replicate the problem, and so we are investigating a suitable fix to this. And this is a little strange because based on some state corruption, whereby if we restart the node with the exact same deploys and everything, it would continue without a problem. So only the first time it runs into this state corruption, that seems to be a problem, and it goes away if we restart the node. But we're basically investigating that to see what improvement we can make over there. So that's kind of where we are on the main items. And there is an issue in finalization. We're not quite sure if it's a bug or it's just that finalization is slow, meaning it's happening after a lot of blocks in some cases. So we're investigating that. That's being worked on, looked into at this point in time. I already spoke to the DAB developer improvements in the form of APIs. This exploratory deployment that I talked about, it basically allows a DAB developer to get whatever data they want to get or investigate about their deployment without incurring any cost. Basically, it runs through on a read-only node, and then it doesn't cut up the state, so it can be rolled back. So that actually we have a PR in, and it's being reviewed. It's in a draft mode right now. So depending on how much of a progress we make on that after we take care of the main issue, which is the insufficient of the 3937, we'll see if we can push this out in 0920. If not, it may be a post mainnet release. That's the situation with the exploratory deployment. And then there were some performance improvements that I talked about earlier that are already released in 0919. And we're still looking at, we're continuing investigations on performance to see where the bottlenecks are and see whatever we do whatever we can to improve that situation. So that I think is the summary from a tech standpoint. Are there any questions or comments?
So I will just mention that as a part of the reason we're looking at the finalization so closely is that we want to rein in the long proposal times. So when we open up the blocks for merging, we get a situation where we have an increasing number of uncommon parents. And because there are more uncommon parents, we have to replay on top of more and more blocks. So that's creating a situation where we have longer proposal times. We're looking at shortening the length of that by forcing finalization sooner, and that's why we're looking at this finalization issue. The other another thing that we intend to look at is make sure that we only have a least effort replay, and so Danyar has a PR with respect to that. And there's more work to be done on that front. So I want to speak to this more generally. In some sense, software is never done. There's always going to be more that we have to take a look at, or more that we wish we could take a look at. So we will continue to improve the network, but we are going to pick a block height for the swap today. So I'll be working with the team, the staff, to pick that block height. We can expect it to happen sometime before the end of January, and then the block balances will be published, and we'll make sure that there's a place where people can review the balances. to make sure that they have that they reflect accurately what their expectations are, and contact the co-op otherwise. So most likely we will put the block balances for the Genesis block in a file on GitHub so that people can get a link there, and then we'll publish the link to the blog. So look for that in the next couple of days, or the next, I guess, 7 days. So look for the publication of the block height, after which there will be no changes in the ERC20 token balances that we recognize in the Genesis block. And then look for the balances file for review to make sure that everything works as or reflects accurately what your expectations are. Any questions on that? Very good. Very good.
I would like to add that over the next few days, we're going to do a run of the testnet with actual wallet addresses.
Yep.
So
please be looking for that as well. Again, a reminder: your ROC tokens need to be in an address for which you control the private key. Otherwise, it's quite possible that you will not see your balances reflected accurately, or you may not be able to retrieve your rev. So please make sure that any ROC that you want available as rev, that you move it into an address where you control the private key. Okay, thank you, Rao, so much for the technical update. We will continue to be working on the network long after mainnet, but now is the time. It's sort of now or never. So we'll go ahead and go live with the network in just a few days. My aim is to have the Genesis ceremony effective by the 4th of February. All right, moving on. We have begun discussions with a large cloud provider in China, who will also be supplying resources for us to stand up co-op nodes and also do some high performance testing. So we're very excited about this. As we have more details, we'll be able to speak to the partnership more openly, but probably many people can read between the lines. Trying to think, is there anything else we want to cover here? Ian, Rao, anything? Steve, anything we need to cover? We had a special board meeting yesterday. Anything from the board meeting that we might want to mention other than our commitment to go ahead and get mainnet out the door?
There's nothing from me at this point. It's Steve here. Nothing from me at this point that I can think of, other than for those that are interested. Greg's now working with Nobuka Yoshida at Imperial on one of the ladle papers, and she's really brilliant. So, you know, we've got some serious, other than Greg and Mike Stay, we've got some serious academic weight. And from the interactions, because I get to see them, because I've known Nobuka for so long, I don't claim to stand it all, but you know, it seems to be going well. So as an interested party and all that, I'm looking forward to the first major publication. Its reputation as regards behavioral typing and the importance of it with a scalable blockchain.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, well, thanks to all. Unless there are any other questions, comments that people want to cover, thanks to all. There will be some updates, important updates on the members only call on Friday. But unless there's nothing else from the community, I appreciate your time and looking forward to getting this baby out the door.
Very exciting times.
Indeed, indeed.
Namaste.
Namaste.